Coming up on Cronkite News, Governor Doug Ducey signed a bill passed by the legislature to provide extra funding to combat wildfires. And how the hot housing market in Arizona is bringing real estate brokers into the state. And later on Break It Down, how we should be dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic given the ease of mitigation efforts in Arizona.
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News on Arizona PBS. I'm Kimberly Silveria Bautista. Thank you for joining us. $100 million. That's how much money the state legislature allocated to wildfire relief. And Governor Doug Ducey signed that into law this morning. Members of both parties were on hand as Governor Doug Ducey signed the bill. It passed both houses with overwhelming bipartisan support during a special session called to address the issue. About $25 million will be directed to a partnership between the Department of Forest and Fire Management and the Arizona Department of Corrections to remove hazardous vegetation. $700 million will be used for both fire suppression and recovery efforts, including economic assistance for those displaced by wildfires. GILA County Supervisor CHRISTENSEN said the new funds come at a time of desperate need for his county.
GILA County is on fire right now. We've experienced a lot of fires over the years. And this legislation is going to be very helpful to prevent fires, future fires, create borders and boundaries around our communities, and also mitigate post-fire issues, which are sometimes worse than the fire themselves.
More than a dozen wildfires are burning in our state, and hundreds of thousands of acres have already been charred this year. Much of the West has faced challenges as a heat wave sweeps across the region, with temps 10 to 30 degrees higher than average. A high-pressure dome combined with the worst drought in modern history sent temperatures into the triple digits. We're seeing all of these record numbers even before the official start of the summer. Record daily highs were seen in Arizona, California, and even in Montana and Wyoming. Here in Phoenix, some areas hit 118 degrees. Climate scientists says that the man-made climate change tied to greenhouse gas emissions account for half of the drought. Because the soils are so dry, moisture can evaporate and cool the area, leaving nothing to cool the high-pressure system that is bringing in the heat. These extreme temperatures could be some of the hottest in the world. Death Valley reached a melting 129 degrees this Wednesday in the middle of the heat wave. These extreme heat advisories affected an estimated 40 million people, and the temperatures are putting America's water sources in danger. Lake Mead, America's largest water reservoir, is dropping at an alarming rate. While this evaporation affects not only water supply, it also results in dwindling energy supplies. Climate scientists say heat waves are lasting longer across the U.S. and are more intense. After spending so much time inside the pandemic, people either started to love or hate their homes all across the country, according to one real estate company, and that's why it's expanding into the valley, where the real estate market is heating up. Real Estate Brokerage is a virtual real estate company that is expanding to Arizona. They are in 30 other states and are coming out west to take advantage of the fast-growing market. Even though wildfires and extreme heat are common here in the summer months, Kimberly Ryan, regional growth leader for Real Brokerage, says there are more common in less populated areas. The Phoenix metropolitan areas is nearly 700 square miles and has a lot of real estate to offer.
Arizona has long been a pretty attractive market, both from a tax basis and then from what's available for cost of living for employees, which is a big deal to companies when they're calculating what their salary levels need to be, what they can consider. Like, I can't start a company if no one will come to work for me because they can't afford to live here, So I think that's a really big push.
Some agents reported their listings are selling way over asking prices, and businesses, especially great in the spring when other areas of the country are still experiencing cold temperatures. Arizona State University was found to be in violation of a campus crime and policy transparency measure in regards to a sexual assault case from last year. The U.S. Department of Education found the school to be in violation of the Clery Act. Complaints were brought from an event that happened last year. The U.S. Department of Education said in a letter, ASU failed to issue timely crime warnings about a sexual assault and that it failed to explain protocol and policies. The letter also said the school placed conditions on the victim, such as a non-disclosure agreement, which the school is not allowed to do under the act. ASU has been working with the Department of Education and will report modifications to policy on June 25th. COVID-19 has taken a major toll on small business across America, with the Federal Reserve estimating over 200,000 closures across the country. Cronkite News reporter Harrison Klopp has a story of one small business in downtown Phoenix that was closed, but managed to reopen, rebrand, and succeed.
Searcher is a skate shop located on Roosevelt Row in downtown Phoenix that sells anything from skateboards, clothes, and art. However, they didn't always used to be a skate shop. From June of 2019 to March of 2020, Searcher was an art gallery. But when the pandemic started, the gallery closed. However, owners TJ Brendel, Becky Bays, and Grant Oberlin saw the pandemic as a fresh start to rebrand their company.
You know, people coming for to buy art, it's really hard to have people come in, especially after COVID, and spend $300 on an original piece of artwork. So basically what we were trying to do is make something that, people need, people want. I mean, the skaters need supplies, they need wheels, they need trucks, they need bearings. People like buying shirts.
COVID was actually a blessing in disguise for us. We had the space, it was empty because of COVID, and we decided to do something, once everything kind of was about to go back to normal or whatever, we were like, we should do something that we've always wanted to do. And for us, it was actually a good thing.
We open up and we just kick it, and it doesn't feel like work, which is the best thing possible. So it's just me, Tim, and Becky out here every evening, just grinding away, coming up with new ideas, shooting ideas back and forth from each other.
And while Searcher has only been open since February, they've already seen success, staying open with a different business model and with foot traffic.
The response has been amazing. I think we went into this with really low expectations. Opening a brick and mortar retail store in the middle of a pandemic, probably not the best idea ever, But honestly, I think a lot of people have come through here, and just the response has been really positive. I think a lot of people come through here and they really just like the vibe. It's very chill, and we have stuff that people need or want, and to be able to offer that to our community that we live in, and we support local as much as we possibly can, so we really appreciate everyone coming in here and doing that as well.
In Phoenix, Harrison Klopp, Cronkite News.
Right now, the skate shop is continuing to do business on Roosevelt Row, but would like to open more locations in the future. Olympic organizers will try to accommodate spectators, but may have to cancel at the last minute. This is what the Tokyo 2020 president told reporters today during a press conference. She was answering to comments made earlier by Japan's top coronavirus advisor, who said that holding the games without spectators posed the least risk. She added that organizers are still exploring if it is possible to accommodate those who still want to attend.
So as much as possible, the spectators to come to the venue, we need to promote that they come straight to the venue and go straight home after watching the game.
Stick around for more local news right after this.
Hey, I'm Rick Steves. I don't go anywhere without my passport. And now, thanks to PBS Passport, you can travel with me and watch all 10 seasons of Rick Steves Europe and all my travel specials. This exclusive streaming service is just for our members. Not only can you see all my shows, but you can see thousands of hours of your favorite public television shows. Become a member today and get your passport.
Stay in the know on the go. At Cronkite News, we work hard to report the facts and keep you updated, whether we're on set or on the scene.
Taking it from the studio to the field. So I'm here in South Phoenix.
In Phoenix, we're just a click away. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, or find us online at cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Ready to watch the best of PBS anytime, anywhere, on nearly any...
Here is a look back at some of the top stories this week.
Download the PBS Video app on your mobile or streaming device.
That required masks
now you can watch the latest PBS episodes or catch up on the shows you missed. And when you support your local station, you can get PBS Passport,
Governor Doug
giving
Ducey
you access to more episodes, more specials, more of what you love.
Not a requirement. Cronkite News reporter Peyton Watts explains how an executive order changed university policy.
Cronkite News provides
Ducey issued an
students at
executive
ASU's
order
Walter
yesterday
Cronkite
to
School
ensure
of
the
Journalism
successive policy
with
is
the
never
opportunity to
enforced.
gain real-world
Arizona
experience
State's
in
policy
newsroom.
has two
At
sets of
Cronkite
rules for
News,
students who are
produce
vaccinated
professional
versus
content for
unvaccinated.
audiences by
People who
taking
are
on
fully
all roles,
vaccinated
whether
will
they be
not need to wear
reporting,
masks on
anchoring,
ASU campus
producing,
or inside
studio
ASU
production.
buildings. However,
Each department
originally
gives
students who are not
firsthand
vaccinated will
professional
need to
newsroom
wear masks,
experience.
submit a daily
For more
health check, and
information,
complete a COVID
visit
test twice a week.
We will still be providing, all of the tools and resources that students will need to manage through COVID-19, for those who are vaccinated and unvaccinated. And so all of those resources will, continue to be available to students. And we'll work within, the parameters of the governor's executive order to provide, the best environment, for all of our students.
ASU leadership is now looking into the governor's order and determining what policies can be enforced. The sudden change in ruling is leaving students at the university concerned on what to expect for the fall 2021 semester.
My concern in that area is less on the dishonesty and more of the actual effects on, say, immunocompromised students and faculty. Because the fact is, when we're talking about the vaccination and any vaccination, it's not just you that benefits, it's the entire community.
ASU plans on issuing a new policy that will work within the governor's executive order, as well as keeping its students and staff safe. Peyton Watts, Cronkite News.
ASU leadership plans to release further guidance within the next couple of days.
After the death of George Floyd, thousands of athletes took a stand to raise awareness about the way people of color are treated by police. Cronkite News reporter Aaron Slindy tells us how police officers coaching youth sports may heal some of the negative feelings about deputies in America.
It's not every day that a person has an encounter with a police officer. But the girls on Ignite Volleyball Club's 14 elite teams spend a lot of quality time with Phoenix police officer Matt MAKINSTER every week.
I really care about building these kids into positive role models in the future, teaching them life lessons that I hope they'll take with me long past volleyball.
MAKINSTER has been coaching club volleyball for 7 years after his own daughter started playing. MAKINSTER spends his time coaching young volleyball players when he is not on patrol.
On his time off, when he should be sleeping, coach other kids and build them up as well, so that we have this positive way of identifying with police officers.
Being both a police officer and a club volleyball coach is not easy, but it is important to MAKINSTER to show the players and the parents that police officers are human beings too.
I've never actually known a cop personally since Coach Matt, so it's made me see them but as actual people. They make jokes and they have fun just like anyone else.
After the death of George Floyd, many Americans started to see police officers in a different light. Police officers that help their communities and coach youth sports could help break some of those barriers that have been made.
We're going to do our job either way, but it is nice to see.
MAKINSTER said he has experienced nothing but support in his role as a police officer from the club and the team. They are grateful for all MAKINSTER has done.
There's so much negativity in the media right now about police officers and that they're the enemy and to be scared of them. And I think connecting with them at a young age and showing them that they're normal people too.
MAKINSTER hopes that coaching volleyball will help more people see police officers through a different lens. In Scottsdale, Aaron Slindy, Cronkite News.
That's it for Cronkite News tonight. Thanks for joining us. For top Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org and stay tuned for Break It Down next.